Hello everyone, Board Game Lawyer here. It's Monday night and I'm going to try to squeak in an extra game of Marvel Champions this week. And so I decided to take Spider-Man against Venom today. So we're going to be playing against Venom in Expert mode, and I've never played against Venom in Expert mode before. So I'm interested to see how he works. So what's the difference? Well, Venom 2 is he starts off with 18 hit points. He has toughness and steady. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Tooth and Nail side scheme and put it into play and shuffle. He also has Vengeance, which is a forced response after you attack and damage Venom with a card you control. Place one face down boost card on your identity. Okay, so we have the Tooth and Nail side scheme that we brought out and put into play. It has a response after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove an equal amount of threat from here. So it comes into play with 8 threat on it, and it has a hazard icon. So we'll go ahead and put our 8 threat on Tooth and Nail. And again, Venom has a scheme of 2, an attack of 2, and he is a symbiote. So his main scheme says, leave us alone. It tells us to use our symbiotic strength and standard encounter set. Of course, we've included the expert cards into our deck as well, and one modular encounter set, Down to Earth. We took out Down to Earth, and today we're going to put City of Chaos in. That way we can play with Rhino as well, hopefully. The setup here says to put the bell tower environment into play, quiet side face up. And so that's all the text on Leave Us Alone. We'll read the bell tower here in just a second. It says, force response. When Venom activates against you, move each face-down boost card from your identity to Venom. If the stage is complete, the players lose the game. Comes into play with 2 threat, and it threats out at 10. So let's put our 2 threat on there. And let's take a look at our bell tower. So it tells us to put it into play quiet side up rather than ringing. It has an interrupt when any amount of damage will be dealt to Venom by an attack. You may place that many chime counters here instead. If there are at least 3 chime counters here, flip this card, is how the bell tower works. And we'll read the backside whenever we flip that bell tower. So he does come into play, Venom does, with a tough card. So we'll put that tough card right up here on his dial. And let's take a look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man has 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense, spider sense, interrupt. When a villain initiates attack against you, draw a card. His alter ego form is Peter Parker. He's a scientist. He's genius too. Resource, generate a mental resource limit once per round, and he has a recovery of 3. So I think that's everything that we need to do. Peter Parker comes into play with 10 hit points on him. I'm shuffling up my encounter deck right now. I gave it a little bit of a shuffle beforehand before I turned on the camera. And we'll do the same thing with our hero deck. Just give it a quick shuffle as well. We've shuffled it pretty thoroughly. About to wear out the sleeves with all the shuffling. But yeah, so the nice thing about Peter Parker is he has a hand size of 6, and he does have that mental resource that he can use in his alter ego form. So let's draw up our 6 cards. So we have Swinging Web Kick, nice. We also have a Web Shooter, good. We also draw the Power in All of Us, as well as Enhanced Spider Sense. Another card is Strength, and one more is First Aid. Well, we don't need First Aid right away, so we'll discard that as part of our mulligan. We'll hang on to Strength. We'll also get rid of Enhanced Spider Sense. Won't need that this turn. The Power in All of Us, Web Shooter, is Swinging Web Kick. I think I'll hang on to these 4 and draw 2 more cards. So we draw Machine Man, and we draw Enhanced Awareness. Exhaust Enhanced Awareness and remove 1 mental counter from it to generate a mental resource. So we've got some options here. This first turn may just end up being kind of a setup turn. We've got the Swinging Web Kick. Would be nice if we could flip that bell tower. Doing a Swinging Web Kick. I don't think I'll have enough resources to pull it off, though. We will put the web shooter out onto the table. It uses 3 web counters, enters play with 3 counters. When those are gone, discard this card. Hero resource, exhaust web shooter, and remove 1 counter from it to generate a wild resource. So we'll put our 3 counters on there. And we're going to use Peter Parker's mental resource in order to put that out. We can also, with our power in all of us, double the number of resources this card generates when paying for a basic gray card. We'll use that to pay for our enhanced awareness. Power in all of us. It also comes into play with 3 counters on it. These are mental counters, exhaust enhanced awareness, and remove 1 mental counter from it to generate a mental resource. And this is also a hero resource. So these are both hero resources that we'll have to use in our Spider-Man form. Let's go grab our counters here. We do have that Machine Man, and we've got strength. How about if we were to let's use that swinging web kick. I think, can we do that swinging web kick? We won't have enough resources to do a swinging web kick on our Spider-Man side. So I tell you what, here's what we'll do is we are going to move. We're going to flip Peter Parker over to his Spider-Man side. And we'll remove that tough card by doing an attack. So Spider-Man is going to attack Venom. That removes the tough card. And then if we do that swinging web kick and the resources that I'll spend are, I might just want to hang on to these. I'll hang on to those. I'll use Machine Man and Strength to play the swinging web kick to deal 8 damage to an enemy. So we will put 8 damage onto Venom. That'll knock him all the way down to 10. Now we keep in mind too that he has a forced response. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face down boost card on your identity. So we're going to give Spider-Man a face-down boost card. But we did 8 damage to Venom using that swinging web kick, so that'll clear Tooth and Nail. And that's done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So that gets rid of that hazard icon, which is what I really wanted to do. Okay, so we'll ready Spider-Man. In his hero form, he does drop down to hand size of 5. So we'll see what we've got here. We've got another swinging web kick. We also have the Spider Tracer. We draw Meditation, Ingenuity, and a backflip card. Nice. Good time for a backflip card, right? So we place 1 threat on Leave Us Alone. Venom is going to attack Spider-Man. So he's got this boost card that we dealt him already. And here's an additional boost card. So caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control, but we're looking at the boost icon, so it's 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. And then For Whom the Bell Tolls is our other card. When revealed, remove 2 chime counters from the bell tower. We don't have any on there. If the bell tower is on the quiet side, take 1 damage. If it's on the ringing side, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. So we will take 1 damage For Whom the Bell Tolls. And so 2 plus 1. And when do I take this damage? Do I take it as soon as this is flipped? It says resolve this card's when revealed ability. So we'll go ahead and take that 1 damage for Spider-Man. And we'll total our attack, which is 3. We'll do the backflip. Defense, when you would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all of that damage. So the backflip is been used to prevent damage. And then we'll draw our encounter card. So our encounter card is an assault. When revealed, the villain attacks you. So nice art for this particular game. So he's going to attack us for 1 plus 2 is 3. So we'll give Spider-Man 3 more damage. And we will end Venom's turn. So we have that swinging web kick. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. But then he'll get that boost card. And it says, after you attack Venom, place 1 face down boost card on your identity. And this says, when Venom activates against you, move each face down boost card from your identity to Venom. So, how about we do this? Spider Tracer, there's no minions on the table. Meditation. Ingenuity. Play only if your identity has the genius trait. So we have to flip over to our Peter Parker side in order to put this on the table, but we can't use these resources to do that. So let's see. Let's spend 2 resources. The web shooter and enhanced awareness. Let me count this up. And the spider tracer. Yeah, the spider tracer, enhanced awareness, and the web shooter. We're going to attack Venom with the yeah, I think we'll do that. We're going to attack Venom with a spider tracer, enhanced awareness, and spider shooter, but instead of doing damage to Venom, we're going to put 8 damage onto the bell tower. So we'll flip the bell tower, and it says that it increases all damage Venom takes by 1. If there's no chime counters here, flip this card. Forced to interrupt when Venom attacks. Venom's attack would deal any amount of damage to an identity. Remove that many chime counters from here. For each chime counter removed this way, prevent 1 of that damage. So we do put 8 on there using that swinging web kick. Right thing to do. Not sure. But that will buy us some time, and I like the extra damage that Venom does. Or that we do to Venom with each attack. So there's our swinging web kick. We will remove 1 threat from the main scheme using Spider-Man. Then we'll flip over to our Peter Parker side, and we'll use that mental resource that he generates along with this meditation card to put out Ingenuity. Play only if your identity has the genius trait, max 1 per player, exhaust Ingenuity, and generate a mental resource. Okay, so that'll end Parker's turn. We'll ready up all of our upgrades here. And now we get to draw up our hand size of 6. So we'll draw Enhanced Awareness. We also have the Helicarrier, a Meditation card, the Sky Destroyer, Aunt May, and one more, another Web Shooter. Wow, resource rich Peter Parker is today. So leave us alone. Place 1 threat on it. Venom is going to scheme. He has 2, and he's going to scheme for an additional. What says put Enraged Symbiote into play engaged with you. He's a guard and a patrol while this minion is engaged with you. You cannot thwart the main scheme. So Enraged Symbiote comes out into play. So we do place 2 threat here, and then he's going to also scheme. So we'll have a total of, let's see, 2 plus 1 is, so to make it 6. So we'll remove these 2, and we've got 6 threat on Leave Us Alone. So we'll draw our encounter card, which is the Shadow of the Past. When revealed, reveal your set-aside Nemesis minion, who is the Vulture. It's a good time for the Vulture to pop out because he has Quick Strike, and we are in our alter ego form, so he will not damage us. So Shadows of the Past. Also brings out the Highway Robbery card. When revealed, each player places a random card from their hand face down here. When defeated, return each face down card here to its owner's hand. It does have an additional acceleration icon on it, so that's one we're going to have to probably take care of. And then there's 3 more cards, Sweeping Swoop and Vulture's Plan, that will get shuffled into my encounter deck. So all of a sudden we have lots of spider enemies on the table, and not much help for old Peter Parker. Will this be Peter's end? We will see. Shuffling the encounter deck, I do need to put 3 threat on Highway Robbery. So we'll put those over there. And that will end Venom's turn. We have a Helicarrier, Meditation, Sky Destroyer, Aunt May, and a Web Shooter. Wow. So we could put Aunt May on the table. She's a good healer. Exhaust Aunt May and heal 4 damage from Peter Parker. I think we'll do just that. Yep. We'll use our mental resource to put out Aunt May. She's going to give him some chicken soup and recover him for 10, all the way up to 10, full strength. So that text is used. I guess we'll also use the meditation card. Or do we want to attack the enraged symbiote? We can't take any threat off of anything until that enraged symbiote is gone. He's got the patrol ability. Cannot thwart the main scheme. So I may want to hang on to that. Web Shooter, Enhanced Awareness, Helicarrier. So what if we were to put out the Sky Destroyer? 3. So let's see what we've got here. We do have some resources that we can use. And I think the Web Shooter, yeah, we'll put the Web Shooter out. We'll use Meditation to put out the Web Shooter. Yeah. So we'll put 3 resources there, or 3 counters on the Web Shooter. We'll flip over to our Spider-Man side. We'll immediately attack the enraged symbiote to get him off the table. Yeah, we'll get rid of him. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 resources that we could spend to put out the Helicarrier. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll spend 1, 2, 3 resources to put out the Helicarrier. All right. And then we'll use our Helicarrier. We'll use a Web Shooter. And we'll also spend that Enhanced Awareness to put out the Sky Destroyer. I know the table's getting kind of messy, so I'll kind of straighten everything up here in just a minute. So we don't have anything to do with Highway Robbery. Leave Us Alone is going to continue to have that much threat on it. Let's see. When Venom's attack would deal any amount of damage to an entity, remove that many chime counters from here. So I think that's all that we're going to be able to do this round. So yeah, we'll go ahead and ready Spider-Man, ready Aunt May. We're going to put all of our supports together here because they don't have any counters on them. So we have the Helicarrier, the Sky Destroyer, and Aunt May. We've got a couple Web Shooters still, and Enhanced Awareness and Ingenuity. I'm not sure I used my Peter Parker ability before, or my Spider-Man Spider Sense before when I was attacked, but anyway, so here we are. We're going to draw up First Aid. We're going to draw Webbed Up. We'll draw Nick Fury. an enhanced spider sense, and we have Dum Dum Dugan. Nice. So we got a good hand going into our next round. We'll place 2 threat on Leave Us Alone, mainly because we have this highway robbery still on the table. We haven't removed it yet. So Venom's going to attack Spider-Man. I get to draw a card when he attacks me. So we draw the Genius card. So we again are flush with cash on the table. So Venom attacks for 2 plus his boost card, which is 2 more. So he attacks me for 4. So we will remove 4 counters from the bell tower. And then Vulture is going to attack Spider-Man. And do I want to take the damage? I could just take the damage. And I think I will. So Vulture's going to attack me for 3. Knocks me down to 7. And then we draw the encounter card, which is Now We're Angry. Attached to Venom, uses 2 rage counters. Venom's attacks gain overkill. Force response after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack. Remove 1 rage counter from here. So we'll just put his Now We're Ready up here to denote that it's on Venom. And we'll put our 2 counters on there as well. And that will end Venom's turn. Okay, so we've got that helicarrier that we can use. Can we pay for a Nick Fury? I think we can. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and pay for Nick Fury. We'll reduce his cost by 1 because of the helicarrier. We'll also use Ingenuity. And we will use our Genius. Do we want to use Genius? No, I don't think so. Let's see, these are wild resources, and this is a mental resource. Let's see if there's any other resources that I can use. Because I do have... That's not going to matter. Let's do it like this. We'll use our web shooter. And we'll use our other web shooter. That'll exhaust that web shooter. It's gone now. And so that's 1, 2, 3, and reduced by 1 to put Nick Fury on the table. So when Nick Fury comes into play, I can draw 3 cards, which I think I will. So we have First Aid, Webbed Up, Enhanced Spider Sense, Dum Dum Dugan, Genius. 3 more cards would be Ironheart and Moon Girl and The Power in All of Us. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. This has just gotten very interesting. So, we did bring out a shield character. So the Sky Destroyer would do 2 damage to an enemy. So we'll do that 2 damage. Oh, it's not attack, though, is it? So let me see how this works. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face-down boost card on your identity. So this is not an attack. After you play a shield card, exhaust Sky Destroyer, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So I like the fact that that's not an attack. So that's like 2 damage that I can do to Venom. 1, 2. And does that remove a counter? Force response. After Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter from here. So it is not an attack. So it's not going to play into what we're trying to do just yet. And I do have, at this point, 1 Nick Fury on the table. So we've got threat that we need to remove from the highway robbery. We've got threat we need to remove from Leave Us Alone. It would be nice to get rid of the Vulture. We've got Dum Dum Dugan and Moon Girl. So Moon Girl, the only way I could play her is if I'm in my... I can only play Moon Girl if I am a genius. So I'll have to be in my Peter Parker form to be able to play Moon Girl. But if you overpay for Moon Girl with mental resources, this after you play Moon Girl from your hand, draw one card for each mental resource used to pay for her. So, according to the rules, you can overpay for a card, and I'm going to assume I'm going to use the rule until I'm told otherwise, that if you overpay mental resources, that you can draw additional cards. So let's see how many mental resources I've got first of all. So the power in all of us says double the number of resources this card generates when paying for a basic gray card. So that could be handy. Let's see what we want to do while we're still in hero form. I don't have any more. I've only got one hero resource left. And I do have threat that needs to come off of this table. And I've got a vulture that needs to go away. So we could spend this turn just trying to remove threat everywhere. Sounds boring, I know. How about... So how about I do that? I'm going to remove one threat with Spider-Man and two threat with Nick Fury. That'll do a damage to Nick Fury. To get rid of highway robbery. At least we don't have that additional acceleration token on the table anymore. Spider Sense, when treachery is revealed, webbed up, first aid, the webbed up card. How about I do this? I'll spend the webbed up card and the enhanced awareness card to put out Ironheart. Ironheart comes out. After you play Ironheart from your hand, draw a card. So we'll draw this card here, which is Lockjaw. Lockjaw. And Ironheart is going to remove a threat from the main scheme. That will do 1 damage to her. Anything left to do in our hero form? I don't have any more hero actions to do. I don't believe. I think what I'll do, though, is I'll just flip over to my Peter Parker side. And so Aunt May is going to exhaust to heal Peter Parker all the way back up to his full strength. Okay. So Peter Parker has a mental resource that he can contribute. The power in all of us would equal 2 mental resources. First aid, enhanced spider sense, a couple of genius. Yeah, we'll hang on to these 2 cards. We'll hang on to those 2. And so we'll spend, to play Moon Girl, we'll spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 resources to put Moon Girl out. That will allow us to draw 7 cards. So we bring in Reboot. We also have Energy, Spider Tracer, Backflip, Reboot, Agent 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one more is another Ingenuity. We can only have 1 on the table at a time, so that's a resource. Okay. So now we have 2, 3 allies on the table. Moon Girl is going to attack. Yep, Moon Girl is going to attack Vulture. 2 damage on Vulture and 2 damage on Moon Girl. Have any more resources that I could spend? No. But I could put Agent 13 onto the table. After Agent 13 attacks or thwarts, choose a shield support and ready that support. So it would cost 1, 2, 3, 4. Attached to a minion. When attached minion is defeated, remove 3 threat from a scheme. And we have Lockjaw. Lockjaw. One, two, three, 4. We don't have any androids on the table. We sure don't. So with the reboot card, we'll put the Spider Tracer onto I'll use a backflip card. I'll use a backflip card to put the Spider Tracer onto Vulture. Okay. And then, so we're going to have to replace one of our allies if we bring someone else out. Agent 13 can't do enough damage. Lockjaw can do enough damage, but I won't be able to put anything else out onto the table at that point. So Agent 13, let's put Dum Dum Dugan out onto the table. So we'll spend 5 resources to put him out. So we'll use Lockjaw and Energy, that's 3, Reboot and Ingenuity, and that will put Dum Dum Dugan out onto the table. When you use one of Dum Dum Dugan's basic powers, exhaust up to 3 shield cards you control. For each card exhaust this way, Dum Dum gets +1 to that power for this use. So he's going to replace Nick Fury. And he'll do some damage to Vulture. So he'll take 2 consequential damage to do 3 damage to Vulture. So Vulture is defeated. The Spider Tracer says when attached minion is defeated, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So we will take 3 off of here. Which will bring us down to 4. And Vulture's gone. Agent 13 and Reboot. Let me see, whenever we draw up our hand size, I've only got 4 cards left. So in order to draw up all my cards, I will have to deal myself an encounter card. There's no way of getting around it. I've got too few cards left in my deck. So I think I will toss Reboot for now. Hang on to Agent 13, possibly. Nah, we'll toss her. We'll shuffle our deck. So we'll drop 4 cards. Swinging Web Kick, Avengers Mansion, Webbed Up, and Black Cat. Deal ourselves an encounter card. I'll put it right here as a reminder. And then we'll shuffle up our deck. And draw 2 more cards. And then we'll ready everybody. I'll do a little housekeeping here. So 2 more cards, and they are a Spider Tracer and a Webbed Up. So those are my 6 cards. Swinging Web Kick, Avengers Mansion, Webbed Up, Black Cat, Webbed Up, and Spider Tracer. We're going to ready our Sky Destroyer, our Sky Destroyer, our Aunt May, our Helicarrier. We'll keep Ingenuity over here as well because there's no counters on it. There is damage on Ironheart. There's a counter on the Web Shooter. 2 damage on Moon Girl. And 2 damage on Dum Dum Dugan. Ready, Spider-Man. Encounter card. Place 1 threat. Scheme for 2. And an enraged symbiote comes back out onto the table again. So he has guard and patrol while his minions engage with you. You cannot thwart the main scheme. He's also a guard, so we can't attack Venom either. So we do 2 plus 1, so we add 3 more threat to our main scheme. And let's do a little housekeeping over here too so we can see exactly what we've got. So we've got 3 plus 2 is 5. And we'll just leave those 3 out there. So now we deal ourselves an encounter card. Our first one is Violent Tendencies. Attach the villain. After attached villain takes any amount of damage from attack, give the attached villain 1 face-down boost card. If that attack deals 3 or more damage to an attached villain, discard this card. So here's our attachments up here for Venom. And then our next one is Panic in the Streets. Treat the printed text box of each location support and each persona support as if it were blank, except for traits. So each location support, which the helicarrier is a location support, Aunt May is a persona, so those are both blanked, while Panic in the Streets is present, and it comes into play with 5 threat on it. Okay, so that will end Venom's turn. We have got a Spider Tracer. I like it. That's a good thing. We have a Swinging Web Kick. We've got Black Cat. So I think we'll use Ingenuity and Peter Parker's mental resource to put out. Oh, we're going to have to get rid of some folks first. Well, I hate the fact that I cycled my deck and my Moon Girl, Dum Dum, and Ironheart are all over here. And I don't have any healing right now. Ugh. So we'll attack. We'll use the mental resource then that he generates to put the Spider Tracer on the enraged symbiote. So we've burnt our mental resource that was on Peter Parker. So Moon Girl attacks the enraged symbiote. That will finish off Moon Girl, unfortunately. But it does get rid of that enraged symbiote. And then with that Spider Tracer, we can remove 3 threat from a scheme. Panic in the Streets, I would like to try to get rid of that. So we'll take 3 off, which will leave us with 2. Yeah, it's got an acceleration token on there too, so it's not doing us any favors right now. If I spend 2 webbed ups, nope, I'll spend an Ingenuity, and I'll spend a webbed up to put out Black Cat. So here's our third ally is Black Cat. It says after you play Black Cat, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Add each card with the printed mental resource discarded this way to your hand. So our first card that we're going to discard is Spider Tracer. That does us no good. And our second one is the Power in All of Us, and it has to be a printed resource, so that also is no good. That was a dud. But Black Cat will remove 1 threat from Panic in the Streets. That will do a damage to her. Ironheart will remove the other threat off of Panic in the Streets, so at least this is done now. And out of the way. Ironheart's defeated, by the way, for doing that. But we do have our Helicarrier and Aunt May back. We're full strength, so we don't have to worry too much at the moment. And how about we got the Sky Destroyer, Aunt May, the Helicarrier, and Ingenuity that's already spent. If I flip over to my Spider-Man side, I can use the Swinging Web Kick. We've got three total resources that we can use for that Swinging Web Kick. We have the Helicarrier. We could reduce one. Will we need another resource down the road? I don't know. We won't use up our Web Shooter. We'll use the Helicarrier to play the Swinging Web Kick. So 1, it's reduced by 1, 2, 3. Swinging Web Kick onto Venom. That will knock Venom out all the way down to 0. That Swinging Web Kick will. So he's knocked out. All right, and then that knocks off one of our Now We're Angry cards, our tokens. Violent Tendencies triggers after attached villain takes any amount of damage from attack. Give attached villain 1 face down boost card. If that attack dealt 3 or more, discard this card, so at least that's gone. So the new Venom comes out with 20 hit points on him. Here's the question I have. A forced response, Vengeance. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face down boost card on your identity. Well, that 8 damage took Venom all the way out. So does the forced response still work? I'm going to say no, because he was defeated. So there's no response if you're defeated. If I'm wrong, please someone point that out to me in the comments down below. But I'm going to say that forced response doesn't happen because he's knocked out. So we have a tough card now on this Venom. It says, when revealed, place 2 face-down boost cards on each identity. Ooh. So here's one, and here's another one. And with Dum Dum Dugan, I probably should remove some threat. But that will take Dum Dum all the way down to nothing. Eek. Let's do it. Dum Dum defeated. So he does 3 consequential damage. He had 2 on him already, so that'll knock Dum Dum all the way down. Interrupt. When you use one of Dum Dum Dugan's basic powers, exhaust up to 3 shield cards. I do have a shield card on the table at least. So I can exhaust that Sky Destroyer to add 1 to the power of this use. So that'll be 4 threat removed. So 5 comes off. And 1 goes back on. Dum Dum is dead. And my board is getting pretty skimpy over here. So here, we could spread out. Here's our supports. We'll put all of our supports on one side and our ally and our upgrade on the other. How's that? Spider-Man, Black Cat. So we draw up our hand size of 5. We've got Agent 13. We draw the Enhanced Spider Sense, the Backflip card, Nick Fury, and Reboot. Placing 1 threat on Leave Us Alone. Venom. Let me just make sure. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face-down boost card on your identity. 2 face-down boost cards instead if this is the first attack this turn. So the very first attack that we do against Venom that does damage causes that 2 of those cards to get placed on my identity. All right. Good to know. I've never played against Expert Venom before, so this is brand new text to me. I don't think I've ever even read it. So the question is, do I want to backflip out of this? I could. That'll still allow me to have plenty of cards to play other stuff. But maybe I just want to block with Black Cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's attacking me. I draw my card. Genius. Nice. Maybe we could afford to backflip now. Let's see what happens. We'll just jump out with Black Cat. So he's got +1, +3 boost cards. Eesh. So our first one is, you are stunned. If you're already stunned, take 2 damage. You would. Now or never is 1 boost icon, and remove 1 chime counter from the bell tower, and he gets 1 more. So we've got 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6 damage onto Black Cat. That will retire Black Cat. And we'll draw our encounter card. Our encounter card reads, Sweeping Swoop. When revealed, stun your hero. If Vulture's in play, this card if Vulture is in play, this card gains Surge. I'm already stunned. Sweeping Swoop. Get with the program, old man. Alright. I could take that one. Our table got really cleaned off on that last round. Let's see what we could do now. So backflip, Agent 13, Enhanced Spider Sense. When Treachery card is revealed. Nick Fury, Reboot, and Genius. So we do have some resources that we can use. Let's reduce. Yeah. No. I think we want to put out Agent 13 first. Don't we? If we can afford it. Let's see if we can. So if we use 1, 2, 3, 4 resources to put out Agent 13, I won't have enough to spend to put out Nick Fury. So our Sky Destroyer will kind of play backwards for a moment. Won't be able to get the full force of our Sky Destroyer this turn. That's okay. But we will put Nick Fury out. After Nick Fury enters play, choose 1, remove 2 threat from a scheme, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage to an enemy. At the end of the round, if Nick Fury is still in play, discard him. So we will spend 1. Well, you know what? We got the web shooter. Let me just recalculate that just to see if that would work. So we have Agent 13. After Agent 13 attacks or thwarts, choose a shield support and ready that support. So if I were to put out Agent 13, I could spend 1, 2, reduce her by 1, and let's think about this for a second. If I flip over to Spider-Man's side, my other side, that'll give me more resources to use. Do I need anything here that's a hero action? I do have the web shooter, which is a hero action. So yeah, I think we'll have enough resources to do a few things. So we will use Ingenuity. We'll use our web shooter. That's 2. Helicarrier is 3. And 4 would be our Enhanced Spider Sense. So those will be 4 resources that I could put out. Puts out Agent 13. And that will exhaust the Sky Destroyer to remove the tough card from Venom. That leaves me with 4 resources that I can use to play with Nick Fury. Let's do that. We'll spend 4 resources to put out Oh, okay, here's the reason why we did that. After Agent 13 attacks or thwarts, choose a shield support and ready that support. So we're going to have her thwart for 2. This is why I did that. That's why I played it in that order. So we're going to remove 2 threat from Leave Us Alone. Okay. So she takes 1 consequential damage for that. After she thwarts, ready a support. So we're going to ready that Sky Destroyer. And now, let's see. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control. So, you know what? Doing 4 damage and 2 damage from the Sky Destroyer is not an attack on Venom. It's not. So rather than draw extra cards, I may try to just do some free damage that won't cause him to get a boost card. I'm full strength, so I can take attacks, and there's... Oh, you know what? There's also the bell tower, too, and it's flipped. So whenever he does damage, when I do damage to him, he takes extra damage. Love it. So now, when I put Nick Fury out on the table for 4, check this out. So he comes out for 4, so it's actually 5 because of the bell tower. And it's not an attack, so it doesn't trigger his forced response. It says, after you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face-down boost card on your identity, 2 face-down cards if this is the first attack this turn. So we still haven't attacked him, which is a good thing. But we did 5 damage just by putting Nick Fury onto the table, and the Sky Destroyer is going to exhaust to do 2 plus 1 damage. So that'll take Venom down to 12. Okay, like it a lot. We'll remove 2 threat then with Nick Fury to kind of skirt getting extra. Well, you know what? If we do 3 damage with Nick Fury by attacking Venom, then we can use Nick Fury to block. It won't matter necessarily how many. Yeah. So let's do that. Let's just do 3 damage with Nick Fury, and then it'll get him down below 10. We are within a swinging web kick of taking down Venom. And then Spider-Man, we're just going to clear our stunned card with Spider-Man. We'll just act like we're going to attack with Spider-Man. Not do any damage. But we did have to deal ourselves 2 because of this forced response and that attack from Nick Fury. And he takes a consequential damage for doing that. So, all right, so we'll ready him, ready her, Ingenuity, the Sky Destroyer, Aunt May, and the Helicarrier. The bell tower is still ringing loudly that turn. And we will draw up our hand size of 5. So we have an enhanced awareness, a first aid, an Ingenuity. Come on, need some attack cards. Spider Sense. Well, we can cancel a treachery card, and the web shooter. Nothing of attacking value in my hand on that draw. Unfortunate. We will, let's see. After Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter from here. So it uses 3. Venom's attack gains overkill. Uses 2 rage counters. We did attack with Nick Fury. This one's gone. Awesome. Place 1 threat on to Leave Us Alone. Venom's going to attack. We draw a card. Please let it be a swinging web kick. That's what I really, really want. It is strength. We got some strength. Nick Fury is going to block the attack. Deal Venom a boost. Let's see what all we get here. First boost. Advance is 0. Calling in favors, 2. And now or never is 3. So that's enough damage to knock Fury out of the round. He's knocked down. Can't get up again. All right. And then we deal ourselves that encounter card, which is the Vulture's Plan. When revealed, discard one card at random from each player's hand. Place one threat on the main scheme for each different resource type discarded this way. All right. Which one do we pick? We'll take this one. Enhanced Spider Sense. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. That's fine. I didn't have to spend for it to cancel that, so that's okay. One random card, place one threat, so we have one mental resource. And so one threat goes onto here. Don't like threat, nope. So we have Ingenuity, dead card. Enhanced Awareness is dead cards. First Aid, maybe not so dead. Dud turn. This is a dud turn. I think what we're doing with this turn is we're going to put out a web shooter for sure using Ingenuity. Comes into play with 3 web counters on it. We can also use the Strength card to play Enhanced Awareness. 3 more counters on it. And we can use First Aid to heal Agent 13. She's going to remove 2 threat from Leave Us Alone. She'll take a consequential for that, but then we'll First Aid her back up to full strength. Yep. And then Spider-Man is also going to remove 1 threat from Leave Us Alone. And then we'll ready Spider-Man. We'll ready Agent 13. Ready Ingenuity. I think I'll flip. I'm going to flip over to my Peter Parker side. And that'll allow us to draw 6 cards. So we got Enhanced Awareness. We have Reboot. We've got Machine Man. There's our Swinging Web Kick. Meditation. And another Swinging Web Kick. All right. Leave Us Alone. Please leave us alone. Venom schemes for 2. Plus, we got an Enraged Symbiote on the table again. These guys, they just don't go away. So we place 2 more threat on there. And then 1 more encounter card, which reads, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Remove 2 chime counters from the bell tower. If the bell tower is quiet side, take 1 damage. If it's ringing, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. So 2. Here we go. It's still ringing. And we just remove a threat. I'll take it. All right, boys and girls. The end is in sight. This is great. Peter Parker is going to flip over to his Spider-Man side. He's going to begin by attacking that Enraged Symbiote. It's gone from the table. The bell tower is still ringing, so we're just going to overspend resources to deal 8 damage to the enemy. So that'll be 9 damage to Expert Venom. Flip him all the way down to 0. Expert Venom, you're defeated. And there's your dial. All right, that was a fun game. I guess as you noticed, this deck only had basic cards in it. That's all I had was my hero cards and my basic cards. It's the same deck that I used in my last video with Hulk. And so I'm really liking the Ingenuity card. That's a new card that came out. It gives us that extra mental resource. And then using that with Peter Parker, I mean, now just economy. You're just flush with economy when you got web shooters. I like the Enhanced Awareness. I like the enhanced cards. You probably see me play with those often. It's just a way to generate extra resources that you can use on future turns. Helicarriers, Star Destroyers, Sky Destroyer. Get me with that all the time. The reboot, I was hoping to play some Machine Man. I really like Machine Man. Didn't get to play him in this one too much. Nick Fury did some work, and here's the thing, that Moon Girl card, we need to find out whether or not that's something that you can continue to do, is to spend all these different resources, and a lot of them are double resources or mental resources that are on the table, or ingenuity. It just seems like a way to really get, this is like Nick Fury on steroids if you are in the genius form. Well, you can't use enhanced awareness, but you can use ingenuity. You can use Peter Parker. There's two right there. And then if you got the double mental resource, it just takes off from there. It's a lot of bang for your buck out of Moon Girl. So, like Moon Girl, that's a newer card that just came out. Avengers Mansion's always good. Ironheart is a staple. Dum Dum Dugan, really like his versatility. 3 and 3. A lot of consequential damage, but you can really make him work. So thanks everybody for watching my playthrough video this evening. I had a lot of fun. I'll be probably filming something else later on this week, but until then, I hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.